family. So today I want to break down the gold trade that I took this morning that ran for, I think the trade ran for, I have it right here. So the trade, so this was the beginning of the move. Okay, I answered at 417. I gave myself a 30-point stop. I was risking roughly around, I think like 2-3%, something like that. Okay, and I was aiming for 5R. Okay, which is 150 points, which would be the bottom side, or just coming to basically retest 4 hour support. Okay, so this was the beginning of the move. Okay, and as you can see, we had a small reaction, and then we just took up to the upside, and we immediately hit 4R. So zero point 0.8 is 4R, which is 120 points, 120 point move on gold. Officially, that would be 4R. Okay, as you can see, I was trailing, floating P&L of around just shy of 3K. All right, and then that move ended up. So I trailed my stop to this sub X level, which is just slightly above 3R, and I was stopped out. I trailed my stop very aggressively, and I was stopped out just underneath, just above 3R. So I made roughly around 105 points long on this move. Okay, and I actually have the video that I will drop, as you can see. So right now, the actual trade is live. Okay, I screen recorded it live. All right, as you can see, we have bullish momentum. Okay, so we came into this higher time frame. I think it was a 4 hour sub X level. Okay, and then I noticed how we had a 1 minute change of character, and then we took off to the upside, and that's why I decided to enter. Okay, as you can see on the 5 minute time frame. Okay, we have two strong deltas. Okay, that printed green in the market. Okay, as you can see now, we have heavy selling. I apologize. We have heavy buyers who are interested in lifting the offer from this market, and that's what I noticed. Look, 40 contracts, 58 contracts looking to push this market higher. All right, as you can see right here on the DOM, 43 contracts lifting, ready to push this offer. And that's why you can see we're breaking this high with strong aggression. Okay, so when we came to this high, we kept attacking it, purging it. Buyers kept buying into this high, and then we took off to the upside. So I'll drop that video. I will already dropped this video in the group, so you can go and study it. But I want to do the actual breakdown on why I chose to enter the trade. Okay, so first things first. Today, gold moved short 515 points. Okay, 515 points is what gold ran. Now, New York Open. All right, we immediately fell off of a cliff. All right, we broke London low. All right, and then we broke this 4 hour support level. Okay, now we did come into a 15 minute. So this is a 15 minute demand zone. Okay, so we came into this 15 minute demand zone. However, we broke it. All right, and we came into this 4 hour sub X level. Okay, so if I go to the 4 hour time frame, all right, this is, oh, let me make that back. Okay, so if I go to the 4 hour time frame, this right here is the candle. We came into this level right here. So we broke this trend line. I probably not the trend line, but we broke this external range liquidity trend line. Okay, so this external range liquidity trend line. Okay, we've been. This. You gotta go to the daily time frame for this. So this is this external range liquidity trend line. Okay, we started at the beginning of the year, or yeah, December 31st. Okay, and we've just been riding this trend line this whole year, here on gold. Okay, so we came up yesterday to mitigate this wick of basically which is the daily supply zone, and we're just retesting. Okay, we came to retest. We're just retesting the bottom side of this external range, ascending external range liquidity trend. That's all we were doing. We're just keep wicking it, but price isn't. Sellers are doing a great job at defending these levels. Okay, and we're pushing price lower. Once again, we are trading in the consolidation zone. So the high of this zone, which is the April 25 yearly high, uh, the highest that gold has ever been, all time high, and then the low. All right, so anything above this red line, which is the EQ of this higher time frame consolidation zone, is technically premium pricing. So this is all in the clear to sell. However, I spotted a entry to go long today. Okay, so I'm gonna drop back down to the 1 minute time frame. Okay, and I'll break down to you why I went long. Okay, so we broke the 15-minute demand. Okay, and we came in to mitigate the 4 hour sub X level. So I already showed you what that level was. This level on the higher time frame. Okay, now this is what I noticed. So in the order flow, I started to see how we had a lot of buying pressure, or I apologize, selling pressure kept trying to push this market lower, but it was all being absorbed. Okay, so if you see that here in the video, okay, as you can see, look, we had 401 contracts hitting the bid to push this market lower. Okay, we had a negative delta. Okay, but the next candle, it didn't go anywhere. So there was no complementary order flow. So even though, okay, this was a huge candle, all right, this is big. So this is us coming into this level. Look at the delta, negative 221, all right, negative 585. But we're not really breaking this with extreme force, okay, negative 328. So it got weaker, okay, and then we had negative 464. Now the next candle was 190, positive green though. So there was more buying pressure in this candle, okay, looking to push this market higher. So all of this selling pressure was being absorbed by bigger buyers, and that's why I decided to enter. Now I'll go back to the price action, okay? So let me try and use this candle. Okay, so I love to use the Hikinashi. It's better on my eyes. I just like the way it looks better, but I'll just use your candle. So look, we had the huge break of structure, okay, and then we came up with this huge buying candle, okay, and then we came back down, and then we had these two candles push up, and we broke this level. Now, when we broke this high, okay, on this 1 minute candlestick, this is where I decided to go long, because I noticed that buyers are coming into this market. So I entered off the 4 hour sub X level, which is 417. All right, I entered off this level right here, so you can see my entry. You can see my exact entry. All right, my entry was at 417. Now 417 is the sub X level. All right, entered at 417. So we wicked this high, which is an indication, okay, this market is getting ready to attack this high right here. So we broke the low, we broke the 15-minute demand. Okay, now that the last seller has sold, all right, this is where I noticed that buyers are gathering and building up their positions. They're accumulating, and we taking this market higher. When we got this 1 minute change of character of this high, I entered the market at 417. I covered the low with a 30-point stop. Okay, and I was targeting 5R. Now, as you can see, the market immediately ran in our favor. Okay, the market immediately ran in our favor. So this was my entry. So this was my entry. I gave myself a 30-point stop. I was covering the low. I entered at 417. Okay, and I was targeting 5R, which is 150 points. Once again, the bottom side of this external range liquidity trend line. Okay, now, price immediately took off like a rocket to the upside. We hit 120 points, which is 4R, and then we had a retracement. I trailed my stop very aggressively to this sub X level, which which secured me around 105 points, which was roughly around, I think, like $2,600. Okay, so this was my profit on this trade. Okay, as you can see, I was floating 25 contracts, 30-point stop. I was risking around 750 bucks. My target was 150 points, which was 3750. But I'm still grateful for taking around just slightly above 3R. Let's just call it 3R. All right, I took just above zero point 0.6, which is 90 points. 0.8 is 120 points, and I trailed my stop to this 1 hour sub X level. Okay, as you can see right here. So I trailed my stop to this level, and once we hit 4R, we came to retest that level. We came all the way down to this sub X level, and I'm glad I trailed my stop because I would hate to see all that profit dwindle. So all in all, great trade. Okay, great trade once again. So the Confluence Profile 500K. So what I used to enter this trade was obviously the expectational order flow footprint. So I'm just watching the expectation of the orders. All right, I'm watching the expectation of the orders. Obviously, we transferred from bear flow to bull flow, and I got in when I got the 1 minute change of character, which is a bull swap, and I took it, and I gained over 105 points on that. So that trade was the reason. The Confluence Profile consisted of expectational order flow plus price action, which gained us 100 points long with a 30-point stop. So 3R today. All right. So if you haven't already, join the Black House group. Definitely join the group. Okay. And always remember, when it comes to our job, okay, remember, our job, when it comes to what we do here in the market, our job is to, I apologize, it's late. I've been working all day. Our job is to manage the downside cost of printing high side returns of money consistently. Done correctly, well, an abundance of fruit awaits us. Godspeed. Okay. So all praise to the Most High. 500K trade here. Make sure you follow the Black House 500K group. Okay. If you don't follow me on TradingView, my name is Trey Highpower. Definitely follow me on TradingView at Trey Highpower, and follow me on Twitter at BlackHouse500K, Black House Management. And if you haven't followed me on YouTube, follow me on YouTube at 500K Trey. Okay, so follow me on Twitter or X at BlackHouse500K. Follow the Black House 500K group, and follow me on Twitter. I apologize, on TradingView at Trey Highpower. All praise to the Most High. Black House Management 500K. We out.